Dame Dash goes back to the Breakfast Club, and all hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised in terms of what happened?
As far as what part?
Just everything.
No.
No?
No, I'm not surprised. Remember the first time he came on the Breakfast Club and he was
Right.
having this boss conversation. And for me, that really bothered me. And not because he was saying that people should be entrepreneurs, but he was, in my opinion, talking down on people who had regular jobs.
Dame Dash didn't just call DJ Envy a snitch. He dropped a wild bombshell claiming Envy traded his freedom for federal protection. And now 50 Cent is quietly backing him up. That's not just some random accusation flying through social media shade. This one shook the whole culture.
I'm sure if you go to Dame's Instagram right now, he's still talking about a Breakfast Club interview that happened 3 weeks ago.
Look,
Like to the point where you got to say, my house is bigger than yours. My view is bigger than yours. Like, that is so childish.
You replied, though. Yes, you did.
I replied in the
you posted your view, right?
Well, I was in Greece.
Oh, okay.
I was in Greece.
'Cause I'm like, that's not his house.
No, I
like,
was
I've
at
been to
Greece.
your house. I'm like, that's not his house.
I was at Greece at my daughter's engagement.
We're talking about one of hip-hop's most fearless deal makers, walking straight into the Breakfast Club live, unfiltered in September 2025, looking DJ Envy dead in the eye and saying he believes the radio host flipped when the feds came knocking. Dash claimed Envy didn't just dodge criminal charges from that massive $40 million real estate mess with Caesar Pina.
Still an active case. Criminally, I'm not criminally charged or even anything to do with it. But civilly, it's still an active case. And what most people don't know is you can sue anybody for anything. Right now, you're wearing blue. And that blue is really bothering me. Like, it's really causing something in my mind. So
You
when
gonna
I
sue me
leave
over it?
here, I'm going to call my attorney. I'm going to sue you for wearing blue.
You could do that.
And I can do.
He hinted Envy did it by handing something or someone over to the government. That's explosive. It's the entertainment equivalent of tossing a live grenade into a packed room and locking the doors. The fact that it didn't turn into an all-out brawl is a miracle. Only because the stakes were way bigger than bruised egos. But if Dash's claims started as social media chaos, the real shock came right after. Just weeks later, in a move that had industry insiders losing their minds, 50 Cent did the unthinkable. He pulled the plug on his paid-in-full TV deal with Dash, wiped DJ Envy from his posts, and even deleted a tweet where he called Dash directly. For anyone who's ever watched 50 Cent's history of feuds, trolling, and non-stop clapbacks, this sudden silence was shocking. When a man who lives for public beef suddenly says nothing, you know something big's brewing. The timing was way too perfect to ignore. Dame Dash dropped his government informant bomb. And right after that, 50 Cent, who was literally about to make money off Dash's name, suddenly didn't want his TV brand anywhere near Dash or Envy. When 50 erases someone, it's never just cleaning house. It's a message. That one move set off a wave of calls, panicked DMs, and legal meetings across New York and LA that still haven't cooled down. Meanwhile, as the air filled with accusations, denials, and some straight-up threats, the real-life legal mess was only heating up. Fast forward to January 2026, in a courtroom scene straight out of a legal thriller, a bankruptcy judge in New Jersey, already buried in Caesar Pina's $40 million scam wreckage, sent DJ Envy a brutal warning. She ordered him to hand over every financial record tied to those shady real estate seminars, or face arrest. This wasn't some routine fine or polite letter. The judge wanted bank statements, tax returns, emails, passwords, the whole thing. And she gave him until January 8th to comply or get dragged into court in handcuffs. The legal team didn't just throw DJ Envy's name in for fun. Court docs spelled it out. His name showed up on joint accounts, payments, and transfers. Real money trails that make his "I was just a seminar guy" defense crumble under the harsh light of federal court. But here's where the story flips from courtroom chaos to pure contradiction. Back in October 2025, right after Dame Dash's explosive appearance, Envy went back on the Breakfast Club telling millions of listeners he had no idea about Caesar Pina's fraud. He claimed he was just trying to help the community, playing the victim card hard.
Investors in a real estate venture say they were swindled out of millions of dollars. And they argue syndicated radio rapper Rashawn Casey, better known as DJ Envy from the show The Breakfast Club, promoted these deals.
Then December hit, and boom, the civil filings started piling up. Suddenly, receipts showed joint bank accounts between Envy and Pina, with over $330,000 funneled straight from those so-called educational seminars. That's $330,000 moving between accounts his own lawyer had sworn didn't exist. To anyone watching closely, that's not the path of an innocent victim. That's the paper trail of business partners moving cash together. When reporters pressed Envy's team, they brushed it off as administrative overlap, the kind of mix-up that happens when you're a busy celebrity who doesn't handle the paperwork. But federal prosecutors and furious investors weren't buying a single word of it.
In the future,
The couple says they connected with entrepreneur Caesar after seeing him on social media with DJ Envy.
He's advertising this all over the radio and on television. I've seen shows of him all over the place, so I thought this was legit.
The pitch to invest in rundown properties that would be renovated and flipped for more money.
The feds don't care about fame or flashy distractions. They care about money trails, and every trail led straight to DJ Envy's name. Things got even messier when a new name dropped. Anthony Barone, a comic book dealer turned unexpected witness, who found himself right in the storm after testifying in a 2025 civil lawsuit. According to court records, Barone didn't just lose money after hearing about Caesar Pina on the radio. He claimed Envy personally toured him and other investors through Pina's properties in Patterson. Face to face, Envy was pitching deals, showing buildings, and hyping up returns like a pro salesman. For Barone, Envy wasn't some innocent seminar host. He was a co-signer, a hype man, the face that turned a small-time landlord into a nationwide real estate guru. In Barone's version, there was zero doubt Envy was deep in the operation, walking investors through empty halls, making promises that turned out to be worth less than the busted drywall in those abandoned buildings. Now compare that with Envy's media claims, where he insists he was just a seminar guy trying to spread financial literacy. Two stories, both on record, but both can't be true. And the longer these lawsuits drag on, the weaker that innocent bystander story sounds, especially to a judge already threatening jail time if Envy doesn't come clean.
why not come out on his radio show and warn other alleged victims if he feels that he was?
It's an ongoing, they're ongoing litigations, and there's no room for them on, any sort of radio show.
A lot of people say they bought in because of Envy's reputation. Does he not have some responsibility?
Absolutely.
This whole mess would have been wild enough if it stayed in the real estate lane. But with the Breakfast Club, nothing ever just stops there. Enter Eddie Rios, Envy's car detailer and longtime friend, who suddenly found himself tangled in the chaos when Caesar Pina handed him a bounced $100,000 check and a silver trap landlord chain as collateral. You know things are beyond repair when your payback plan turns into jewelry and empty promises. Rio said Pina told him, hold on to this until I pay you, like some pawn shop deal gone bad in the middle of a recession. And through all of this, Envy stayed silent. No public defense for Rios, no warning to others, no, hey, maybe don't take chains instead of cash from my business partner. Nothing. It's one thing for Envy to say he was blindsided, but the optics, they're ugly. Why did a DJ with a national platform stay quiet while people in his own circle were getting played?
Right, because Caesar Pina said that you're innocent but not a victim. Not sure what that means, but just is what it is at this point.
Yeah, that's what he said.
All right. Yeah, I mean, how do you expect this whole thing to end with him?
I don't know. This is the crazy thing. People think that I'm more involved than I am. I'm really not. I'm not charged, so I really don't know.
Insiders who've worked with Envy off mic say this is the question that won't go away. If he was truly a victim, why didn't he speak up when his own people were being scammed? The silence says more than any statement could, and fans are starting to wonder if Envy's loyalty or fear kept him from telling the truth. The plan was simple. The properties would be renovated and flipped for profit. But by this point, the federal complaint wasn't just another boring PDF lost in a pile of court files. It was explosive. Prosecutors made it crystal clear. They weren't calling DJ Envy a victim. They called him Caesar Pina's business partner, the celebrity who used his platform to push a scheme that allegedly targeted hardworking everyday investors. And here's the kicker. Many of those investors only bought in because the Breakfast Club gave it legitimacy. That small detail turned this case from a scam into a full-blown scandal. The legal language here matters. Victims get sympathy, but business partners get subpoenas, frozen assets, and brutal cross-examinations that can wreck entire reputations. For anyone watching the rise and fall of celebrity hustles in America, this isn't just about cash. It's about image, clout, and accountability. How much responsibility comes with a blue check mark and a syndicated mic? Then comes the real legal trap, the Rule 2004 examination. For anyone not familiar, this isn't some chill Q&A over coffee. It's the Fed's favorite weapon to corner anyone suspected of hiding money, shredding receipts, or twisting the truth. Under Rule 2004, prosecutors can drag anyone into court under oath. No cameras, no filters, just cold, hard questions. Rule 2004 means everything's on the table. No lawyer tricks, no rehearsed answers. Just raw truth. This is where even the slickest lines from the Breakfast Club can collapse into contradictions. So when the bankruptcy trustee asks DJ Envy why he's fighting so hard to keep his bank records private if he's really a victim, his answer better be solid. Because I didn't know what my business partner was doing won't cut it anymore. Right now, we're watching the whole narrative splinter. Envy's story is falling apart in civil court. But the bigger question is, what happens when the feds step in? Why would a man who swears he lost money in a scam be fighting this hard to hide his finances? And why is 50 Cent, the king of clapbacks, staying completely silent?
I'm paying the interest right now every month, and I have nothing.
Well, at this point, we just want our money back.
Nigel Chamblin says he was conned by Caesar into investing $235,000 in that same Patterson property, along with two others, $300,000 each for homes in Hawthorne and in Maplewood.
What does he know that the rest of us don't? Meanwhile, Envy's lawyers are scrambling to explain those suspicious joint accounts while the IRS quietly talks to his investors. And what they're hearing doesn't match his "I'm a victim" script. Behind closed doors, investigators are asking tough questions. Who really controlled the cash flow? Who set up the seminars? And most importantly, who made the introductions that pulled regular people's savings into Pina's web? One name keeps popping up: Stanley Acosta, a Queens banker with receipts and nothing left to lose. He says he invested $150,000 after hearing Envy promote the deals live on the Breakfast Club. When Stanley Acosta showed up at Cesar Pina's New Jersey office, he didn't find profits. He found unopened FedEx and UPS envelopes stacked by the door. That was the dead giveaway. This wasn't just a slow business, it was abandoned. Later, he told attorneys the only reason he ever trusted the scheme was DJ Envy's personal stamp of legitimacy. That's not just disappointment, that's what turns a celebrity endorsement into legal liability. Once the feds start connecting the dots, and as the legal machine grinds forward, one chilling piece of evidence stands out. A mountain of text messages, now public in court filings. Cornered by furious investors demanding their cash, Cesar Pina sent an eerie message in 2025. Bro, if I go to jail, nobody gets paid. No apology, no promise. Just a cold threat. As long as he's free, there's hope. But if he's locked up, it all crashes. That single line now hangs over the entire case like a shadow. And it's exactly the kind of message Dame Dash pointed to when pushing his most dramatic claim. He swore the only reason Pina hasn't been locked up yet is because someone close to him is working with the feds from the inside. And according to Dash, that someone is DJ Envy, a theory that once sounded wild but now gets harder to laugh off with every passing week.
Is a victim, just like the other alleged victims are in connection with the scam.
Why, if he's a victim, hasn't he filed a lawsuit against the Pinas?
He has a legal right to file whenever he deems fit. He is now contending with cases that are being filed every day improperly against him.
Cesar Pina keeps making bail. DJ Envy keeps dodging a jumpsuit. And the more investors read that chilling text thread, the more they start wondering what Envy's really been saying behind closed doors while playing innocent on air. At the center of the bankruptcy probe, the court-appointed trustee has demanded every single piece of Envy's financial history from 2019 to 2023. And that's no random time frame. Those are the exact years Envy and Pina went from just doing seminars to becoming full-blown business partners, buying properties together, selling flip dreams, and launching one real estate education event after another. The court wants everything: tax returns, wire records, invoices, and receipts showing who got paid and who's hiding what. This isn't some gentle audit. It's a full-access investigation, the kind prosecutors unleash when they already suspect the public story doesn't match the private ledger. The order doesn't whisper suspicion. It screams it. And just as that financial pressure starts closing in, another explosion hits. The entire Flip2DAO saga blows wide open. That's the cryptocurrency-fueled real estate platform Envy and Pina hyped up on The Breakfast Club back in June 2022, now sitting dead center in a $2 million RICO lawsuit. What was sold as the next big investment revolution might end up being Exhibit A in one of hip-hop's messiest financial scandals ever. According to multiple victims, this wasn't just a bad investment gone wrong. It was a money laundering funnel. Investor cash was being pushed through a digital maze until it vanished without a trace. Flip2DAO was marketed as a revolutionary way to democratize real estate, letting small investors own fractions of big properties. But insiders and lawyers say it was nothing more than a slick shell game, wrapped in flashy blockchain buzzwords for the Instagram crowd. The contradictions keep stacking up. Jose Rodriguez, a credit repair specialist who once paid Envy $18,000 a month for promo shoutouts, has now come forward with his own shocking story. Rodriguez says Envy personally warned him not to go near Flip2DAO, even while promoting it publicly. According to him, Envy's exact words were clear. Don't invest in that one. Trust me. But in public, Envy sat beside Pina, smiling and co-signing the same project to millions on radio and YouTube, giving it credibility only a celebrity DJ could provide. That double life says everything about the panic brewing inside Envy's circle. Because if he was secretly warning close friends to steer clear, yet still pushing the scheme to his audience, who was he really trying to protect? Himself, Pina, or the illusion of success that kept the empire alive just a little longer? The deeper this gets, the clearer it becomes. The real story was never about real estate. It was about reputation survival. Behind all this chaos, 50 Cent's quiet exit from the scandal looks less like a business decision and more like self-preservation. Not long ago, 50 was all in, planning to bet big on a paid-in-full TV series with Dame Dash, ready to turn the scandal's viral heat into his next blockbuster hit.
The new thing that he does now, because he's creating content, right? He's trying to get his network off the ground and get it flowing. So he's creating the content and doing all these interviews. But like I said, it just, in my opinion, it just looks bad. Like, we want to remember Dame from Rockefeller, from creating the big organization that had artists like the State Property, Memphis Bleak, Cameron, Hove. We want to remember Rockaware. We want to remember those movies he produced. We want to remember that. But that's not where his legacy is leading him towards.
But once Dash dropped that government informant bomb and Envy's paperwork started leaking, 50's entire playbook flipped overnight. Sources close to him told The Guardian that 50 got an inside look at confidential documents directly tying DJ Envy to Cesar Pina's fraud. That was all it took for one of hip-hop's most calculated deal makers to slam the brakes, cut ties, and delete anything that could connect his empire to this mess. And let's be real, this is 50 Cent we're talking about. A man who's made a career out of controversy, beefs, and bold moves. So if he's ghosting Envy now, is it because he thinks Envy's "I'm a victim" act is fake? Or because he's heard whispers that Envy's name is now floating around FBI conversations? Those rumors about Envy cooperating aren't just smoke. They're part of the official narrative now. Fueled by Dame Dash's confidence and 50's deadly silence, every new document, every sealed hearing, every mysterious call between Envy's lawyers and federal prosecutors pushes this story further out of his control. The deeper it goes, the more it looks like the truth might already be sitting in a sealed folder.
You know, I don't know where he gets his information from.
I don't either.
I mean, I seen somebody online, he was breaking it down, which was all wrong. There's actually a dope lawyer, and I don't know her Instagram, that broke it down from the criminal aspect of what it really means when you really read it. And she broke it down amazing. But sometimes it just makes no sense to reply to just foolishness.
Waiting to explode. With Rule 2004 subpoenas hanging over his head and Pina's own texts begging to stay out of jail, DJ Envy's innocent victim story is collapsing fast. The court doesn't buy it, the investors definitely don't. And even some of Envy's longtime associates are now backing away quietly. So if Envy's really that sure he's innocent, why hasn't he gone public with proof? Why no bank records, no full statement, not even a denial under oath? All we've seen are polished press releases and stiff, no comment replies. That silence is deafening, and the public hasn't forgotten the history. Before Cesar Pina ever walked into the Breakfast Club studio, Envy's image was already shaky. Old scandals, public feuds, and messy relationship rumors had turned him into a magnet for controversy. This isn't a man new to drama. This is a man used to surviving it. But this time, the stakes are different. Federal and state lawsuits are now threatening his money and his legacy. And every time the pressure spikes, Envy moves further from transparency and closer to full-on legal lockdown. Behind the scenes, whispers say iHeartRadio and Power One, 05.1 have quietly begun vetting potential replacement hosts, and that writing on the wall is hard to ignore. Meanwhile, investors, the real victims fueling this chaos, don't care about radio ratings or Instagram clout. They want their money back, and their fury is now powering a possible class action lawsuit, not just against Pina and Envy, but every platform that helps sell the dream. Attorneys say they're building a case using clips, emails, and social media receipts to prove this wasn't just bad luck. It was systemic deception. The only question left, will a civil suit expose the truth before the FBI drops its own charges? And when it comes to Dame Dash, for all his wild energy and on-air explosions, he's never looked more like the canary in the coal mine. His claim that DJ Envy is the real reason Cesar Pina isn't in an orange jumpsuit isn't just ego. It's a full-blown challenge to the official story. With his old industry bridges already burned and nothing left to lose, Dash is betting everything on one dangerous theory, that Envy's not just a victim, he's the inside man. Dash believes Envy's the key witness, the hidden link between a multi-million-dollar scam and a criminal investigation that's only heating up. Maybe Dash is bluffing. Or maybe, just maybe, the man who helped build Rockefeller Records knows how to spot a snitch before anyone else does. Right now, this scandal's getting messier by the week. Envy's victim defense is cracking under subpoenas, investor lawsuits, and his own contradictions. But the biggest question isn't if he lied. It's what he's been telling the feds to keep his name out of Pina's indictment. And if Dame Dash is this confident, maybe it's time to ask who else Envy's been naming behind closed doors. What do you think? Is DJ Envy protecting himself by selling out his partners? Or is this just pure industry paranoia spiraling out of control? Drop your thoughts below and make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next jaw-dropping update. Every subscription means more than you know. It keeps this channel digging deeper, exposing the truth they don't want you to hear. Stay locked in. This story's just getting started.